It's been a while since I've done a movie news video, so I thought I would do that this time around. And there has been some interesting news that I found interesting for the past couple of weeks and months, both in the horror genre and movie news overall. Some of the topics I will bring up in this video is some Marvel news and some news about the new Scream movie, Scream 7, and the Strangers sequel. The sequel to the Strangers movie we got last May. So let's get into it and see what the biggest news in horror and movies have been for the past couple of weeks at least. Or at least the ones that I found the most interesting. The one that I will start off with is the kind of smallest one, and that is that the Strangers sequel will release in September this year. We got a Strangers movie last year in May, and it was very underwhelming. It was not that good at all. It was not totally awful, but it was very underwhelming. It was very disappointing. I just didn't find much good with it. And I was one of those that was very excited for it because the first original Strangers movie from 2008, it's one of my favorite slasher movies of all time. So it was disappointing to see what they did with it. And it was a planned trilogy, and it was supposed to release, all three were supposed to release during last year. But it didn't happen that way at all. I think they kind of got some second thoughts because of the reception the first movie got. It kind of feels like they did some reshoots with the part 2 and 3. And they just rescheduled the movies altogether. And it feels like they are doing something that wasn't originally planned. They did changes to the whole storyline of these three movies. We did get a trailer late last year for Chapter 2, and it looks very promising and very interesting. It can turn out to be a bad movie as the first one, but the trailer really looks interesting. When they introduced this new trilogy, they basically told us that they will reveal who Tamara is and possibly reveal who the strangers are and why they are doing it. And that I'm just careful about that because I don't want them to make something that is stupid and not have credible motivations, because you can ruin the whole mystery about them. In the trailer for part 2, we do see that she's running away from the strangers, and she hitchhikes, and there are 3 people in a car that picks her up, and we see them all without mask. And in the trailer it's alluded that they are the strangers, but I don't think they are. What I do think it's that it's a trick, and they are actually wanting to help her, but they are going to get killed by the strangers. Because I don't think they would reveal the faces of the strangers in the trailer immediately before we even get to see the movie. So that was news item number 1. The Strangers Chapter 2 is releasing in September. Now let's get into a topic that has been kind of big in the horror community. And that's been all the changes to the Scream cast, and if we will get a Scream 7 or not at the beginning, and all of that. Then eventually we got the news that we will get a Scream 7. Sidney Prescott is returning as the main character, and we will get some returning characters of the new cast, but not the 2 main characters, Sam Carpenter and Tara Carpenter. The ones that are returning from Scream 5 and 6 are the Meeks twins, Chad and Mindy. And those are not all the ones that are returning. We are getting some characters that are returning that have been dead for a long while in the franchise. And I can say almost all, at least many of the characters that are returning, they are dead, and many of them are returning in some kind of way. We don't know how yet, but it's interesting to see how they do that. I'm thinking it will be a flashback, and that Scream 7 will be a lot about the first movie and what happened in the first movie and what happened during all of Sydney's life, basically. And that the killer will have some kind of connection to her that is big, and that he might play with her. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be a flashback. Many of them will be a flashback, but I think the possibility is that the killer will also use AI in some way. Maybe the voices of these characters, these dead characters, or maybe using AI visually too and replicate how they looked and mess with her head that way. I am kind of cautious about Scream 7, but I'm at the same time confident that Kevin Williamson won't disappoint us. He wrote the first movie, he wrote the second movie, he wrote the fourth movie. Without him, we wouldn't have Scream at all. The first script for the first Scream movie is really impressive writing. It's really some of the best writing in horror. Not just in the slasher subgenre, but in horror as a full-on genre. And he came up with the world of Scream. He knows the rules. He knows what works in this universe. I'm not saying everything he wrote after the first Scream movie was perfect, but if anyone knows Scream, it's Kevin Williamson. But the thing with Scream 7 is that he won't be writing it. He will direct it. He will direct a Scream movie for the first time. And he has not directed that many movies. I think he only directed one movie before this. He's mainly a writer, so that's something I'm cautious about, but I at the same time believe he can do it. I'm mainly just curious about the returning dead characters, like Billy Loomis, like Stu Macher, and some others, like Dewey. Dewey that got killed in Scream 5 is suddenly returning. So I guess we will have to see next year when this is supposed to release. The next news item I want to talk about is some Marvel news. About a week ago we got the full cast for the new Marvel movie, and it's called Avengers Doomsday. And we got the full cast presented by Robert Downey Jr. at the end. We basically got many characters that we were not expecting to be in this movie, like Professor Xavier, like Magneto from the original X-Men movies, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen returning for those roles, and even some X-Men members that we didn't think we would get, like Cyclops and the same actor that played him in the original movies, James Marsden. And there was plenty of others too. Like most of the Marvel characters we have got to know for 10 or 11 years before Endgame, like Thor, like Captain America, and so on. And the new Fantastic Four cast in the new Fantastic Four movie that we will get this summer. So it sounds like it's going to be a quite big movie with a big cast, and I think most of it will be flashbacks here too, or they are going to do a multiverse thing where they are going to be different versions of those characters with the same actors. But in any case, it will still be a very big movie with a huge cast. And it will all be topped with Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. A casting choice I don't really know what to think about or feel about, because as we all know, Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man in the Infinity Stone saga, part of the Marvel movies. And there has been some change of plans there too. I mean, the big villain was supposed to be Kang the Conqueror. But then some things happened with the actor and there were talks about recasting, but it seems like they decided to go a different route, or at least it just looks like it. It looked like they won't be doing the multiverse story with Kang and they will introduce Doctor Doom. And all these characters will be a part of that somehow. And Marvel has not really been that impressive lately since Endgame, like for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, that was great, and there was some other movies that were good too, but it isn't really cohesive, it feels like. It feels a little bit scattered. So we will have to see what they have planned, because I think we will get a first glance of what they have planned in the new Fantastic Four movie that releases this summer. It feels like they will introduce a lot of new things in that Fantastic Four movie. So that was all the news I wanted to talk about. Like I said, it has been a while since I did a news video like this, so I wanted to do something different. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe. Also, don't forget to smash the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. This has been Boogeyman Cinema. Thank you for watching.